Hey, everybody, and welcome to Bourbon Over Baseball. You've got Jeff here and special guest. Really excited to bring him in. His name is on the Bourbon Over Baseball masthead. We've got Bob here. What's up, dude?
What's up?
I know it's weird for me to be doing the intro here when you should be doing the intro.
I don't know about
But
should be, but I've done it in the past.
right, you've done in the past. I guess this series is kind of I'm rolling with it, and just trying to get as many of these episodes out as possible.
You're the commish.
Yeah, the commits. I guess I haven't really told everybody, all the listeners that I'm the commissioner of this league, and therefore everybody hates me, and I get
It's a
booed
love-hate relationship.
Right, it's mostly hate though. Definitely get booed at all times. Went to go do the first pick for our draft, announced it, got booed. So, I'm not asking for sympathy, but just saying, that's just the situation we're in. So, I definitely want to consider myself the Rob Manfred of our league. So, any opportunity to take as much fun out as possible, I'm going to do it. So just keep up with all of that. So, anyway, we're going to continue the series today, going through the last division, kind of the preseason division breakdown, where we look at the teams in there, give them some grades, look at the strategies, see how they're all going to shake up against each other. We've already done the two other divisions, the cardboard cutouts and the auto runner on second. And that leads us into the last division, which is the 7-inning doubleheader. So we've got four
awful names of these divisions.
I didn't know.
I love them, but I hate them.
Right. It's that's what the last pod that we did on the auto runner in second, that was kind of a conversation that I guess it's already out at this point, but we had Greg on talking Wind Dance Repeat about the auto runner on second, and he hates the auto runner on second. So it seemed really fitting to put him in that one.
For sure.
So we're going to talk about this. I'd say let's just get right to it. We've got 4 teams here. This is going to cover the rest of it. If you haven't listened to the other ones, you don't have to listen to them. I think go check them out for sure. They're on the playlist. But let's take a look at the first team, which is the Cleveland Tribe, which is Bob.
Hey, that's me.
Why don't you take us through kind of, I guess, just quick draft strategy,
right.
What you were looking to do, and then
so I like
how you think it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out pretty good. I feel like I got a little bit lost in the middle, but I think finished strong. My thought was if I could get Zach Plesac or a Shane Bieber, but I had the 10th pick, so I thought no way I'm going to do that. So I'll just grab the best available batter. And one of the people I had my eye on was Trevor Story. I thought Trevor Story's card was fantastic. Hit everything that I wanted. 8 or higher A speed with a ton of pop. That's kind of what I was looking for. And obviously doesn't hurt me in the infield. But when it came to my pick and Zach Plesac was available, I had to take number 1 because he was like, he in my opinion was the best affordable. Affordable is a weird word for a 600 point.
Right.
Of the big top. So the big top 2 tier 1 guys were ridiculous, but I thought he was like the best tier 2 pitcher. And so I definitely wanted him, and I liked that I got him. And so after that, I was like, okay, well, if Trevor Story's still there, not everyone liked him, but I thought Trevor Story was awesome. So I had picked him second. And I just kind of went with that strategy for a little bit, grabbing these power 8 bats. But, somewhere through the middle, I started to realize like I spent a lot of salary on these like power 8 bats, like Mitch Moreland and Brandon Lowe and Trevor Story. I did not want to go under 8 on base if I didn't have to, but I could punt catcher. But I was like, I don't know if I face a whole 8 on base lineup, I think I dominate them. Like there'd be a guy or two that break through, but I feel like when I look at other people's teams, like your team, that scares me when I see a bunch of 10s and 9s. Like I was like, so I better start grabbing some people. So I had a lot of salary left because I was playing some reliever strategies by grabbing some cheap relievers. I always knew I wanted 6 relievers, reliever / closers. And so I was like, I'm going to grab 19 players. So I was like, I better grab these cheap relievers in the middle, which I did at 6, 7, and 8.
Yep.
And
which are great picks, by the way.
Yeah,
I mean, those being, it's funny to kind of, I guess you got Joe Kelly in the 4th, but your 6, 7, 8 round.
I wanted to grab a power reliever, like lock them up. And then I was like, okay, let me go with some salary relievers. There's a lot of people at the 180, 190 range. That's when I grabbed, I think it's Genesis or Genosis. Because I was like, I'll take a standard, reliever type pitcher for 190. And yeah, Joe Kelly's just a monster.
Yeah, he's great.
But yeah, so I was like, I'll grab these guys and I'll have 3 relievers. And if I have salary at the end, I'll just grab the best available reliever. So I was trying to figure it out, but I was like, okay, I'll take Yaz. I really like Yaz. I get a power 10 bat with a lot of double range.
Yep.
He hurts me in the outfield. So then I started, then I grabbed Aaron Hicks because he was by the time the 16th round came around, I'm like, oh boy, I'm starting to struggle now. And so I grabbed Aaron Hicks and I'm like, okay, I like a 9 speed guy. He can lead off for me.
Yep.
You know, decent, okay power. I mean, it's not as good as everyone else, but for 400, I like it. But then I was like, wait a second, my outfield is like -1.
Yep.
So then I was in trouble. So I grabbed Joey Gallo, which I like, is again another ace with a lot of power. I can put him at the middle back half of my lineup just to hopefully get some smacks. Great, filled the gaps. Now I'm at +1 outfield, but I still have salary, and I noticed that Roman Quinn guy, again, I was like, I can punt center field, and he's interesting chart, and he's an A speed. He's
right. It's
5.
Corey Patterson, basically. Yeah. It's like, I feel like it's the same car. I think he was center field.
Yeah,
+2,
but he might have been center field, left field, right field also.
Oh, that's true.
Like
that's true.
+1.
But 100 points, speed A, on base 5, pretty good chart. Like, that's fine. That's okay. You for 100 points, that's totally valid. Like,
and so that allowed me to move Aaron Hicks to center or to DH. So then my outfield went up to a 4, which was huge for me. And this all allowed me to have that 19th pick open. And I was looking at the salaries. I'm like, if I have this right, I can grab Zach Britton at 210 for my 6th reliever. And now, I mean, Zach Britton is ridiculous.
So I have a lot of thoughts here, and I'll kind of go through them. Like, I think the interesting one is that, and you don't know this just because we just recorded the one with Greg on his pod, is that if you had not picked Plesac at 10, Wind Dance Repeat was taking him at 11. Which
he's so good.
He's so good, but that's super interesting to me because Wind Dance Repeat always has the most specific strategy in terms of who cares who's best available. He's taking the player he wants, right? No matter what the salary is. And so that was really surprising me. So it's funny that if Plesac didn't go at 10, he goes at 11, because like if he didn't go to 11, I wasn't going to take him 12 or 13. So it would really been interesting there. Yeah. I just think that's interesting that you two were going to be basically taking that player. I actually, to be honest, so hear me out. I don't love the Trevor Story pick in the 2nd round. So here we go. I think, but the huge but there is that I think in the span of what you did in the draft, the Trevor Story pick works out phenomenally. So I think if you have some combination without Yaz and without Hicks, then I don't love the Story pick, right? I think Story working with Yaz and working with Hicks works so damn perfectly.
Oh yeah.
And I think like the fact that you're going to have Hicks lead off, probably Yaz second, go to Trevor Story, who just should be raking in.
And then he's 4th.
And then you're going to have a bunch of look. And this is the funny part where you kind of said you're scared of facing my team. Your lineup is like what I wanted to do. And I basically just forgot my strategy, abandoned it, like got nervous. Like I wanted control, or I wanted, and I guess you got a lot of guys, you got Brandon Lowe early. A lot of those guys were off the board, but like, man, on base 8s, especially fast,
So my 3, 4, 5 is Story, Lowe, Moreland, and they all double at 14. And Trevor Story single pluses at 11. So he's a 50% like on second base type guy.
We've already talked about how there's not a lot of great catchers defensively in the set. There's like 3, right, that are like 8 or 9, and then Roberto Perez at 14, which is the crazy outlier. It's just, I think, and I'm just gonna say this right now, and I feel very confident about this. You were out of those 3 8s, or actually, out of those 3 8s, 2 of them are going to do pretty well, like what you would expect for the money you spent, and one of them is just going to go in bonkers, just absolutely bonkers. I'm telling you, the 2018 season, when I had Bader, Corey Dickerson, and one other guy, who were 8s and 7s. And given maybe rolls went my way, but Corey Dickerson was like 270 points and played like a 700 point card, and it made no sense. And I just have a gut feeling that's going to happen with you.
I sure hope so.
And man, I love the fact that you went value reliever strategy early, and then
Mhm.
just filled in with, oh, well, Cabrera is pretty good. Here's Zach Britton, because like
Yeah.
I would have been nervous if you didn't have Zach Britton. I would have been kind of nervous, to be honest. But I think like in the scope of things, we had so many good relievers for so many amount of points. Take the guys that fit a specific strategy. Like, I mean, geez, like Hirano and box. I mean, or really, I don't love the Boxberger card,
No,
but
box
Kimbrel,
burgers is a 5. I was like, if I ever have to,
dude, you
I'm
have
in a
them.
blowout game, I can lock it down. He can give up the home run. But the weird thing was all the home run people took. That's why I like that Carter Kaboom pick or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce the last name, but I hope it's Kaboom.
Seems like Kaboom. I mean,
Oh
it's
yeah,
like that's Keyboom. I don't know.
yeah. I'm
If
sure it's
it's if it's
Keyboom or Kai
if it's
Boom.
actually Kaboom, that's like the
I love
best
him.
last name in the MLB.
But with all
So
those people grabbing those home run players, that makes him actually okay on rolling on their charts. So I'm like, I got an 8 for 140 that's just going to get on base. Like that's all I care
wow.
about for 140. But here's the other thing. This is why I loved going story low. I never have good infields. So this time I got a 10 infield. I don't know if you looked at that Zach Britton card. Look at that ground ball range.
I'm looking. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh
Him,
my god.
Joe Kelly, and well,
For
I'm not
anybody
going
who
to
doesn't
use
for anyone who
Yoshira.
right, for anyone who doesn't want to look, Zach Britton has an 8 to 16 ground ball range,
Yeah.
which I think is safe to say I have never seen a ground ball range that large.
Yeah. So when I was like, I have a good 10 infield right now, which I should be able to get half these guys out on good rolls.
Yep.
These ACB guys, they're going to be tough, but I'm better than I used to be. And 10 is very solid. I'm not going to have any errors. And now I can just have Zach Britton put the ball on the ground. Joe Kelly put the ball on the ground. Brad Boxberger hopefully put the ball on the ground, not in the air. But I was like, if I can get some ground balls here, that's where I want to go. And then Robbie Ray, I'm basically punting my 4th starter.
You had to do it.
Yeah.
And it's totally okay.
Which
because
I guess we should talk about now. Oh, sorry. Go for it.
I was going to say, if you need that game to be a bullpen game, which you will, I mean, you're going to pitch Robbie Ray until which actually even control one, see how long it can go. If he exceeds your expectations, that was kind of my point with my team is that,
hey, no doubles, no singles either.
Right. If my 10-point guys, no, his chart for anyone listening is a control 1. He's out through 16, 17 to 19 walk, 20 home run. It's just, I guess he's almost a pitcher version of the true outcome. So
that's what's also good about Zach Britton. He gives up no singles and no doubles.
Yeah.
Or no singles. So I'm like, I like those guys that like, yeah, okay, well, doubles is going to happen here and there, but I'm like the singles, all those charts. I try to get like Jamie Barria. He's got 1 single. I'm like, that's what I like. I'm like, he is solid.
Yep. I think like the 10-point, like I said, if Robbie Ray does all right, that is just wonderful. You got extreme value for a 10-point guy. And if that needs to be your bullpen game, you can, because you have Plesac coming up with a control 5, 7 innings, who's probably at least going 7 innings, even if he gets knocked some runs. Like in this league with the rules that we've always played in your leagues with 2 straight out the 3rd, and now adding in, if you go above your set IP, you're out the next. We're going to see starting pitchers probably go deeper than they should, probably more than ever. I mean, I already played my game, my first week, and I saw Lucas Giolito, who was doing crazy well, but he had to go deeper just because he had to go. I mean, I think he was an IP6 and he went 8 because the guy just did not have the relief staff to back him up. Giolito was still like questionably better than the rest of his relief staffs, which is wild. So
when is this podcast you think going to be uploaded?
I think probably late next week, which would be,
that's what I like to hear. So
yeah.
I play Kyle in our league, and he doesn't know this yet. But we've talked about this, that I'm probably I'm going to go Zach Plesac 1 and then Robbie Ray 2, because I will hopefully be able to pitch almost a complete game with Zach Plesac, resting my entire bullpen, and then going into a game with Robbie Ray with, I have all the bullpen healthy. So that's going to be weird. I'm almost like punting game 2. But then capitalize at the end. Go Heaney next because he's got the most next IP, and then Jamie Barria for the 4. So me and Peter talked about that, but that's what I think I have to do.
That's not crazy. We have had probably, I've heard the most bizarre starter rotation strategies I've ever seen because of the new rules. What I would probably have done, and this is what I'm kind of doing with my team, is that I'm kind of running 2 relief staffs, like that they only come in on games 1 and 3, and then the other staff comes in games 2 and 4. in your case, that's almost what I would do. Is I would do Berea as your 2, Haney as your 3, and then Robbie Ray as your 10. Hoping that Plesac, Haney can lock stuff down, and then Berea and Ray is where you have your Britton, your Cabrera, maybe Kelly coming in to help.
Yeah, so either Ray has to be before or after Plesac, in my opinion. So in that case, Ray is before Plesac because you have him as a 4. And then you waste your bullpen with Ray's game, and then you almost have no one to use during Zach's game. But that's what makes me nervous, is having him before, because then I feel like I might just expend the whole thing. And what I really want to do is know that Zach Plesac's game went good, and then use whatever's left on Robbie Ray's game. Because I don't know.
So
anyway, what do you think?
And I promise I'm not just saying this to suck up to or anything. I think your team, based on the teams I've seen so far, which I know we've got 3 more to cover here, and I've already seen 8 of them. I think you might have one of the best teams in the league. I think we've only
first in the division, losing the playoffs. That's what that's my
that's
MO.
Like the Bob special is, do crazy well in the season, immediately get swept to lose in the first round. Get your fans excited and then just crush their dreams in October. So
I just can't perform.
we've talked about this. We're talking 5,000 point team. So are we going to have a variation of A+ and D-? Absolutely not. We haven't had a single C. We've had some B-, B+, and then I think we had 2 A-, maybe leaning towards A. I feel comfortably saying that this team is an A.
Cool.
Probably the best team I've seen so far. And yeah, I think
I'm worried about the back half of my lineup when I go, Gallo, Pedro, or actually it's going to go Kaboom, Gallo, Quinn, and then part of
I'm
me
not though. I'm really not.
And that's why I don't know. Like, could I have punted a reliever, got one of the relievers out of, say Brad Boxberger, and then made Robbie Ray a different starter? Like, that's the stuff I'm going to be seeing how the season goes off. But I really think 6 relievers is going to be needed for this kind of league.
Agreed. That's what I did. I think, looking at I agree with you that, those last 4 guys are not ideal, but 2 of them are speed A, and then also 2 to 3 of them. I'm trying to just find them really quick.
And Kevin's team who beat me was very fast. He was all about trying to get on second base and get a single, and that's how you win Showdown.
And 3 of these guys will get hits. I mean, you only have one. You only have 1 on base 5. The 4 bad guys we're talking about are still on base 7, on base 2, on base 7, on base 8. And again,
I'm just assuming Romans. I'm always be rolling on the pitcher's chart. So give me a hopeful single, a walk. Let me steal second. Hopefully get him on second base and get Aaron Hicks to come up.
I think if you really, and you will, if you really play the crap out of these games, and a lot of sack bunting, a lot of stealing, a lot of kind of wild shit like that, I think I think that's the difference maker. That's why I'm not so worried about those guys. And I've seen a lot of parts of these teams, very nitpicky parts, and I've been very nervous about that part. That's the worst part here, and I'm not nervous about that. So I feel that an A would put you probably close in terms of our, my rankings, which mean nothing because, you could be last, and the team I gave a B- could be first. Who knows? I always talk about when we rated that
Dom's team. C.
Dom's
we
team
like a C or something. He won the World Series.
Right. It was like a C- and he won. Yeah. So
we thought it was awful.
So we'll give you an A. Let's go to, and I'm going to be curious to get your takes on these teams that you'll be playing against. So the next one, another famed podcaster, part of Bourbon Over Baseball, is the Cleveland Steamers, which is Matt R. So,
and he did what I was talking about with the 8s, power 8 bats.
Yep. Which I mean, that's why I'm just so mad at myself. And it'll probably be fine. I like my lineup a lot. I love my first 3. I'm worried about my middle, but dude, the on base 8 power hitters are just so much fun because Springer's going to go crazy probably here.
That Mookie Betts card is fucking sick.
Right. Tell is going to go crazy. He's going to have Mookie. He's going to have Betts or Rosarena back to
that's
back.
Pretty scary.
I get that he doesn't have a 10, but my God, man.
Yeah, but the 916 home runs are fucking beasts. Dude, those are huge.
Right. He's probably
Barry Bonds.
He's betting Betts first, I would imagine. Just
with Randy after that.
Right. And then I guess probably JT, Realmuto, Seager.
No, he might go Corey Seager.
Well, that's true. Or Springer.
He'll go too. Springer. He'll go Springer, Corey, JT. No, he'll go JT Springer.
Yeah, Real Muto
Yeah.
Speed A. That's wild.
Yeah, Real Muta. That's a good card. That's a really solid card. An
It
8
really
that's
is.
homers at 16. That's real nice. But
First his fourth pick was that he went a Rosarena 1, Mookie 2, which are just two great picks. And then he went Blake Snell 3rd, or Real Muto 4. So
a lot of power here. Like almost all of his guys, everyone but one of them, which is his punted. No, that's not even a punt. All of his guys double at 15 or lower. 14 for Springer, and then that random guy Colton Wong is 19. But that he just grabbed an A speed +5 second baseman, and that card's good too for its value.
It is absolutely.
But like that's all power. The only thing I'm worried about it, there also is a lot of outs. Like almost all these guys are, and I'm sure my team's like that too. I didn't even look because I know that Gallo was a 6-outer, which kind of killed me. All my guys are like that too. That's going to be interesting for him.
Right.
I always just get worried. So his lineup, I think, is more balanced than mine. My lineup is high and then low at the end, but I wonder if his will outperform because it's just so much more powerful.
His outrange isn't as bad as you think. There's so many of them.
A lot of them are 4s.
Right. Most of them are 4s. And so many, like more than we thought, were 1 through 5 out.
He also has a 10 infield. That's pretty good too.
I think his lineup, even with the kind of the average, probably the lower average on base number, I think he'll be fine.
I think he'll get dominated against like people's big starters. And anytime that they have anybody lower than like a tier 2, he's gonna work them pretty good.
Yep,
he's gonna work a tier 3 starter pretty good.
His start, he went kind of what we talked about, the home run pitcher or bust. I mean,
that makes me really nervous.
But the guys he got are, I would say,
Walker Buehler is awesome.
Yep.
I mean, for 380, you're getting a 6 control 15 out guy. That's pretty good, and no double. Though I don't like the 2 singles there. Blake Snell, that's pretty damn good.
I like him better than Buehler, to be honest.
Do you?
I mean, the extra control does matter when you need them to go deeper. But even Blake Snell at 4.
What I actually like about Blake Snell, and opposite what you said, I actually like the more outs on the chart, because when you're giving up home runs, you need to limit the amount of people getting on base. That's why I like that Cole card so much. Garrett Cole, he's only got like a 19 single and then like a 20 home run or something. It's like, or a walk maybe. I'm like, no one's getting on base against this guy. So your home runs are going to be solos.
I think after Cole, Matt grabbed the 3 best home run pitchers giving up home runs.
Yeah, but he went Snell and then Buehler and then Tanaka.
And then his number 4 is the guy I'm so mad at myself that I missed, because this was the type of strat I wanted. Control 2 guys that had solid charts, and Rick Porcello. There's not a lot of, we've talked about how
I like him for 100.
Right. This set is very specified in, like, there's not a lot of value because, like, you guys, like, you got the points right. We finally, you kind of nailed in the points. So there really wasn't any inherent value other than, like I've said before, your just own preference. Rick Porcello, I think, is a freaking value at 100 points. I mean, Control 2 is not great, but
for 100 points, it is.
And for 100 points and IP5, I mean, my gosh. And then 17, 18 walk, 19 single, 20 double. Again, 100 damn points. He went in the 11th, and I'm like, Matt, I took some really dumb picks prior to 11th, and I just, oh man. So I love that pick. Probably one of my favorite picks of the entire draft, truly.
So the only thing he grabbed 4 great relievers too. These are all, that one guy's tier 3, but the most of them are tier 2s. So three tier 2 relievers are all studs. Especially that Shane Green card. I think that's a beast. 417 outer guy with no singles or double, or no singles, which I love. The other guy, Andrew Miller, obviously from the Indians. He's okay. He's a 3. He's value. Then he just punted the last one, but that in lies, I think, the issue. He grabbed 4 starters, 3 of them. If those 20s, they're only 5% chance. But if they start rolling, like Matt's even said, all of a sudden you give 2 or 3 home runs in the first couple innings by bad luck. Is he going to be able to go deep enough with that reliever core?
Right. I think I think that's the biggest question mark here. If his guys, if his starters do well, kind of what he expects, then I think he's going to be kind of in a good trajectory, probably a perfect trajectory.
Because his lineup is so strong. He might be able to out-homer him.
I probably would have like dropped Andrew Miller. I mean, again, like it's all tough because we're drafting, but I probably would have dropped Andrew Miller and then like ideally had a better number one, like not Evan Marshall or Jake McGee. Like I would have had like an even better guy if they existed, like a 220, 230. Because he's gonna like to your point, within this course of Bueller, Snell, or Tanaka, one of them is going to have a rough day. And I think that when that starts happening, you know, and I know Matt's gonna do this, he's gonna be like, all right, like here we go, bullpen, you know, tagging you in early. And I think it's the next game that's going to be kind of rough. And if Tanaka has that, if he goes truly Bueller, Snell, Tanaka, Porcello in that order, Tanaka has that bad game at 3 and he's doing Porcello 4, then Rutro, right? Like I don't.
And they're all 5 IP guys. So even normally he's going to be probably putting in at least 2 relievers in Bueller's game, you know, in the 8th and 9th, 2 or 3 relievers in Snell's game, 2 or 3 relievers in Tanaka's game. That's a lot of work of that bullpen. And that's why Zach Plesac is so damn nice at that IP7, because I need that full day of rest for my whole bullpen. But I wish one of those guys was a 6 IP just to hopefully stretch you a little bit longer. You know, Bueller can go a couple more innings. He's gonna have to hope Bueller goes deep,
oh my gosh,
like 8 inning games.
And that's like, yeah, I'm right with you. I what do you think in terms of grade? Because I think I know where I'm at on this.
I think his lineup is amazing. I think his lineup is scarier than mine in terms of raw power, but I think he's going to get taken advantage in the pitching, and I don't think he's in the reliever core is going to be enough. I think in the old rules, his reliever core could have worked, but with the new rules, I don't think it's deep enough. So I would go with B here.
I was thinking B plus. Probably
so it's somewhere in that range. I just don't think it's. I mean, it can totally work out because if they don't roll 20s, his fucking value, and he's gonna out homer everyone else. His lineup is so sick.
Yeah, I think he'll lock down games quickly, and I think you'll see it happening. And then if he gets ahead early, like it's going to be a question of does he want to use that relief staff to kind of really lock things down and play to win, like we talk about.
That's interesting, yeah, because if he's winning like 7-2, he's like, I'll just let Snell get shelled. He won't care.
And then I might throw in Andrew Miller and finish the damn game.
So that's true. So. I think he's basically has to race them because that's what I think his team is built for.
Yep. All right. So we'll go with kind of B plus range.
Yep.
Let's go down to another team that I am really excited to talk about because
oh boy, I see a lot of 10s all of a sudden. Holy shit!
Yeah, this is this is the Angels in the Trout Field. Probably wins best name in the league. This
is my fantasy name in ESPN for the last 4 years.
Oh really?
I had Trout as a keeper for like 4 years, and there's unlimited keeps in that league, and I've had my name as Angels in the Trout Field for a long time.
Wow,
it's an awesome name.
This is our buddy Kyle.
This is who I play everyone.
Yeah, this is who you're playing tonight, right?
No, we're playing Monday.
Monday, okay. So I'll make sure I tell him your strategy.
No.
It's gonna sit in a file on my computer. We're fine. But no, Kyle came in from as part of when we got Nate into the crew, and kind of him and Nate have been just having a blast being back into the game, playing.
Is he from Boston as well?
I think so. Well, I know
he's East Coast. I know that.
I know they I think they play in person together.
Okay.
And they I thought that Wind Dance Repeat and myself had played the most games this year in Showdown, just in terms of what we were tracking in our crew. It sounds like Nate and Kyle have played like 100 plus games them.
Jeez.
So they love the game, and they get like just jacked up about playing Showdown at any point. So
Nate's a good guy. I haven't really met Kyle yet.
Yeah, I'm so glad I got to meet Nate and get him kind of involved. And then same thing with Kyle. And one thing I'll say, and I knew this because I was texting with Nate, I think it's safe to say that Nate and Kyle did the most research out of all the teams in the league. I didn't talk to everybody. I can't confirm that, but from what they told me and what I talked to other people about the research they did, my gosh, these guys, they were really looking through the set. They knew every card, and they were poised to really do well. And we talked about that. His team, I think, is the best in our division, also one of the best in the league. And when I looked at Kyle's team, I also thought kind of similar things. So going through it, he
was the 8th pick in the draft.
8th pick, and he has a pretty wild lineup. I mean, it's kind of
we knew second base was shallow, so grabbing DJ was a stud. and he's a 10
he
and
he
doesn't
went.
hurt you.
DJ was his first pick. Love the pick. Probably went a little early. I wouldn't have
Yeah.
taken him, but I get why. Because second base was not deep. There was not a great.
Yeah.
DJ was the only great second baseman. Then it was a steep drop off. He went Trey Turner with a second.
Stud.
Love Trey Turner. I almost if Freddie, I talked about this last time. If Freddie Freeman wasn't available at the 12th pick, and I had to pick, I was going to pick Ozuna. I was thinking Trey Turner. I actually was between Trey Turner and Ozuna for that second pick. I just liked 1 through 3 on Ozuna, the 1 through 3 out. Excuse me. So love that he got DJ and Trey Turner, and then just farther down in the draft, as we go along, gets Machado.
Yeah, who's a beast.
Total beast. Gets Jason Hayward was.
Jason Hayward is the one that I can't believe it fell so damn far.
Right. It was my biggest
stud.
There was a guy I picked Anthony Rendon before him, and then I looked at Jason Hayward getting picked, and I was like, what was I thinking?
Yeah,
right.
Because he's gonna have Jason lead off, I assume, with Trey Turner behind him, is my guess. Which just seems nasty to have 210 ace speeds as your 1-2. And then you could have either DJ or I don't even know. He might go Manny fourth. But then even Jesus cracks the ball pretty good.
His
Nimmo's good. So he's probably gonna go 10, 10, 10. Then he might go 9, 10. And then he'll get into his 8s, which are Peralta, which he'll be batting later in the lineup, but Jesus Aguilar is a beast. So his JP and Tony Wolters are the back end, and Tony was a great punt. He grabbed him early, the 5th round, because that was that value catcher that let him grab a lot of his power bats.
Yeah, I mean, I did this. It's funny. Him and I, we were similar in a lot of ways because I feel like I wanted a lot of the guys that are in his lineup. I've talked so much about. It sounds like I hate my team, which I hope I don't. But he also got
outfield. Jeez Louise.
Right, and then going to his starting, he got great starting pitching. That's
I just wish some of them went deeper. I just feel people are going to be worried if they don't got IP6 guys.
That's true. And well, this is, I think that what you're saying there is completely right, because he's got 3 guys with 5 IP.
Kim is a beast. No doubles. He's a 5-16 out. This is basically what I wanted with Plisak. It's just that Plisak goes 2 more innings.
Yep.
And gives it the double.
But Sonny Gray's, I don't mind the control 3 guys. I think they'll do fine. I love the Tristan McKenzie.
Sonny Gray's fine.
I wanted Tristan McKenzie, and he was going to be my number 1 if I could get him, and I couldn't get him.
Yeah, that Tristan card's good, because if you think about that, I mean, that's what Randy Johnson was, a 3, 1 through 18 out guy. I mean, the homer thing, again, 5% chance here. But the 4 innings, I think, is the worst part of that Tristan card, because you're going to have to probably dump him early.
Yep.
And get into your bullpen. But looks like he has 3 solid bullpen guys. Madison Bumgarner card, he just is a punt guy, but even that's, again, I don't think any of those guys are 10 points that are 2s are solid. You get a 2 but Madison, 10 points.
Madison's great. Usable though.
Well, he's he's
a usable 10.
For 2 control, you got a 10-pointer. That's a beast. That's a great savings. There's a lot of home runs on his pitcher's charts. So it makes me worried, in those Tristan Madison games, he's going to have to split those guys, either go 1-3 or 2-4 with them. And he's going to have to use AJ, Guerra, and Garrett in those games, because if not, he's going to be in trouble going from a home run pitcher to a home run relief corps. I mean, even Amir Garrett, he's got the home run on his chart too. I feel like you can only get lucky so many times.
I will say the one I'm with you that I think the combo of his relief staff with some of his pitching, it's kind of like it's kind of like what we just said. I mean, they're going to get rocked. Somebody's going to get rocked at some point. It's really going to throw the plan into a blender.
Well, you have to have Tristan or Madison going again 2-4, let's say. So let's say Tristan's 2. He's pitching 4 innings. Then you're going to have to go AJ for 2 innings. So that's 5. Or let's say Tristan goes 5 innings. And then AJ goes 6, 7, and Guerra goes 8, 9. Now those guys can't pitch the next game. So then you have Sonny Gray pitching, and you got to hope that, Nit Wittegren or Amir Garrett and Jeffrey Springs are in those games. And then AJ and Guerra are back to handle Madison Bumgarner's games. Yeah. And that's the only way that can work, which could work very well.
Right, and he does. Junior Guerra and Amir Garrett are both control sixes, which
Oh
is
yeah.
I think it's. I mean, there's that didn't happen by accident.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure Kyle saw exactly what might happen with his starters and said, "Well, I need guys that I'm going to throw Amir Garrett just till his arm falls off in a particular game." And I
Well,
just
knowing that I
know.
have Zach Plisek against this lineup first game, I feel still a little nervous going. I think he's going to go 10-10. I think he's going to go 10-10-10, 9-10, which just sounds really, really scary to me. Followed by 2 8s, which the one really rakes. So there's really
Right.
6 solid, really nasty batters. But then I'm going to go Robbie Ray game 2, and I'm going to be really fucked.
And we're talking 10-10, 10-9-10, and 3 of those guys, single double at 15 or single plus at 13 and 14. I mean,
so this is another team that's going to hopefully outscore the opponents, because sometimes he's going to have bad games, but he has to hope that, again, he saved a ton of value on his pitching because he went to home run pitchers and stuff like that. And because of the savings, he was able to stack the first 6-7 batters in his lineup.
Right.
So he has to outperform the other team.
I almost like his team is like weirdly kind of almost like a cousin of my team. I wish
you have more crazy starters.
I do that. Well, yeah, no, but he spent a lot there.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he had dropped, like, let's say Sonny Gray or just Kim, right? To like be half the price, gotten another crazy good reliever, and then also bumped up like his JP Crawford pick, or bumped up David Peralta,
or added one more reliever.
No, he would have to add another reliever,
yeah.
But I think if he did that to me puts this team over the, like, puts him within kind of distance of your team, which is kind of how my metric.
If Matt R is if the Steamers are a B plus, this is a B plus A minus. Like, it's right there. I think it's definitely a step ahead of Matt's.
I think it's a B plus.
I think it's better than Matt's team. I think this team could beat Matt's team head to head.
Then I would say probably this is an A minus.
That's what I'm saying. It's that B plus A minus. I feel like this team is a little better.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's better than yours, but I think it's better than Matt's. So, all right. So solid B or solid A minus there. Excuse me. Let's get to the last team. So this is the mighty Muskie Minotaurs.
Hey,
this is our
Matt H.
This is our buddy Matt H. So Matt H has actually been in our in-person leagues. And there was another convert that we got him over to the TTS world. So, was really excited again to bring him in. He's a great dude. He is incredibly intelligent. He is the programmer developer type that knows exactly.
He runs Python by doing
this.
Right.
Draft. He's running all these scripts to, like, I don't know if he did it here, but he, in past drafts, he has run scripts to basically identify who he should be drafting at any particular time to build the best team. His strategy, and I will say, like, he was actually a pretty big influence for our leagues early on, because the team that he did so successful with early on, and this was like, I mean, we're talking 3-4 years ago at this point. He had a team that just had 1 through 4 starters, just bonkers. I mean, we're talking like Pedro, like, and then it was into like Randy. I mean, it was just like you're facing a number 4 who could be everybody else's number 1. And he just demolished everybody. Even though his lineup was not great and his relievers were okay, he just demolished everybody. And so I kind of started going with that. And it also did well for me. I did not do that here because I'm trying something else, but his strategy, Bob, I know it was kind of throwing you off, and it was kind of like making us, like, we were all trying to focus on our own teams, but then we were seeing how much he was spending on his first like 8 picks and being like, dude, you gotta cool off at some point. You're spending too much, because he went Acuna Jr. Number 1 overall pick, which I wouldn't have done as the number 1, but I get it because
I liked him a lot. I talked about him maybe over Soto just because of the A speed.
Yep.
And a 10-17 home run guy is really, really good. And he doubles at 15. Pretty good.
Yeah. Single plus at 14. I think he locks up. This is like why I picked Bobby Abreu in our 2001 league.
Yep.
Because he did so many things at once. He had the great outfield. He was on base 10, good chart, not great, but good chart in speed A. Bobby Abreu sucked for me, but so maybe that's why it gets me a little nervous, but he definitively locks up the number 1 spot in his lineup. And I think that's always a great way to start and build around that.
I'd have Jose batting first.
he let me say, oh yeah, dude, that's the crazy thing. So like going through his first, like, let's say 8 picks, he goes Acuna first round, he goes where's his
Jose
two, Jose
Ramirez.
Ramirez,
Yeah.
which also great pick.
Yep.
Miguel Rojas 510 points. Then he spends 500 on Clint Frazier. Then he spends 480 on Salvador Perez. Then he spends
That Salvador
560 on
Perez card is really crazy.
crazy good. But like that's the thing, is that if I add this up through his
That Salvador Perez card scares me.
let's look at his first 7 picks. His first 7, we have 5,000 point teams,
Yep.
right? And his first 7 picks was 3,720 points. Like, what in the hell? So we told him it, like, I think after he picked his 7th pick, we were like, dude, like you don't have any points left, right? He's like, so like it's so funny because his 7th player in terms of salary is 480. His next best player, I guess he does have Matt Olson at 290, but then it drops down, or he does have a
Daniel
310.
Norris.
But,
He grabbed
or yeah,
a 2 IP guy because he knew he was going to need it in those other games.
no, yeah. So he goes from 480 to his 8th best player is 310. That's a 170 point difference. There is absolutely no question that is the biggest gap between any 2 players on a team's salary in our league. And I mean, then he had to go value, and I think that's fine. I think this team is just like freaking salary whiplash, and I kind of love it.
Oh yeah.
I think he's going to go bananas in the lineup.
I think he's going to get hurt on the back end. That's the only thing. He only got 18 players. He's got 1 good reliever, maybe 2 is probable.
His relief staff is potentially the worst in the league.
Yeah, that's where he's going to get hurt, because if you're facing Jose Acuna, Clint Frazier, and then like Salvador Perez, really his lineup just sort of drops off at the back with like Adam Frazier, who also can do damage, Matt Olson, who also could do damage, and like I said, it drops off with 4 guys in the back end.
Dude, he needs
a lot of production out of those first 5 guys.
Right. He not only doesn't need this is a crazy situation, because he needs so many things to happen for his team to be just, I think, okay. He needs those first guys to go bananas. He needs Ian Anderson and Maeda to go beyond their IP, well beyond, probably into the 7 and 8 inning range. He's got to stagger Kuhl and Wright, and then I don't mind the Daniel Norris pick, because it's a control 6 IP 2 out through 15.
Crazy that his DH is a second catcher.
Dude, he was 30 points. Like, it's not even, it's not like he's even
60 points.
It's not even that Perez is his DH and he got a better catcher. I just don't think they were available.
And that's the risk. I think if he wanted to do the strategy effectively, he should have found the value players in the middle, like 4, 5, 6, 7 pick range. Because if he would have done that, I think he would have found like better 10-point pitchers. Like, instead of Kyle Wright, grab a 10-point pitcher like you and me did, or really punt Chad Call, or don't waste as much on Nick Turley or Tyler Rogers. And if he does that, or gets 10-point players early, he can then, you just know he's going to punt a couple relievers, punt his like 3, 4 stars, and punt like maybe his 8, 9 batters, and then just did well the rest of them. The problem is he spent like 60 points on DH, and he spent 80 points and 80 points on 2 relievers and 30 points on Kyle. Like, that's a couple hundred points he probably could have saved if he was able to grab value players in the middle. I don't know if he was just going to go, I'm just going to grab his strategy was probably, I'm going to grab as much salary as I can at the beginning, the best players, and then I'm just going to grab whatever is left. The problem with that is if you actually map it out, you could have got the value guys and had good people in the back end, I think, as well.
Yeah.
A couple guys are really good. They're almost all his guys just hit a fucking ton of home runs.
They're going to do well. I have no doubt about it that Acuna, Jose, I mean, the Miguel Rojas card is quietly great.
Yeah.
They're all going to do well. I just don't think they're going to do better than his pitching's going to.
That's what we talked about. The other thing, the other guys' lineups, I think are even though maybe like individually they're not as scary, I think overall Matt and Kyle's lineups are deeper, and they're actually scarier, and they'll outscore this kind of lineup. And their bullpens, even though some of them are scary or starting pitchers, I think this one is going to give up more runs. And I'm very nervous about. I had a 3 control guy. It was like a 16 out guy last year, and he was like an average pitcher at best. And this is a 3 control. 2 of them there are 15 outs. To me, he's going to get lit up a lot in the back end. And I I think he's gonna have a lot of trouble.
I think, again, love Matt, and he's our boy. I think this is without question the worst team in this division. And based on I feel like this is a C plus team, maybe even to a C.
Yeah.
And that would put it kind of finishing the last team that would make it the worst team in the league in terms of our ranking. We could, again, our rankings don't mean anything. We're just looking at it, giving our judgments. But man, I would, I would be nervous to field this team, even with all of the fun, crazy high point guys he has. So I don't know. We could be way off.
I just looking back at Nate's team, and it is pretty fucking sick.
Nate's I think what we've now.
I feel like Nate's team could beat me. I think Nate's team could beat me. I feel like Nate's team's a little.
I think it's, I almost feel like we should do I could almost do like a 10 to 20 minute recap of the whole league and the grades we gave and kind of predictions. I think it's completely, it's a great chance that you and Nate are in the World Series. It's kind of just based on all this. That's what my prediction would be. I think that
he grabbed a bench player.
I think he did.
Wow, that's wild. Yeah, he's got a guy, because I was like, oh, he punted a guy, but really that guy just sits on his bench.
Yeah,
so
I think it was
his lineup is stupid. Then he's got only like one player that's a punt, and
right. And then he has balance everywhere else. Like
I'm
telling you, the dude did his freaking research, and it shows.
Yeah, because he's got two really good starters, and then his third starters, he's probably gonna split them 2-4, just like we were talking about, but he's got two really good relievers that are going to go deep in those games. It's interesting. I bet my bullpen's a little deeper than his, but his lineup is so much better than mine. So that's what's going to be interesting if I get to play him, or when I get to play him.
So I think that in terms of, and tell me what you think here. I think the division will shake out to probably be.
I'll be in first, and then I'm going to lose in the playoffs.
Okay. Well, that's what I was gonna say. You're definitely first. I feel strongly you're first. I think
Kyle's second.
I think Angels and the Trout Field are second. Matt is third. The Cleveland Steamers, and then number 4, Matt H. With the mighty musky Minotaurs.
Yeah, it just depends on the schedule, like the non-division games, because I think Nate's team's really scary, because I wanted to look at it after you mentioned how good it was.
Right.
It's like, okay, so how many people are playing? Are we all played everybody once? All the other people?
We play our division opponents 4 times total.
Okay.
1 away, 1 home, so 2 series. And then there's 6 other weeks, and you play 6 of the other 8 teams. So there's 2 teams you won't play.
Okay, so it's like if Kyle doesn't get to play Nate and I do, then Kyle could probably sneak out if I end up losing to Nate. Stuff like that.
That is I have not investigated that, and I love that take, because I haven't looked I don't even know the 2 teams I don't play, but I think it's going to be just a strength of schedule thing. I would have loved to just do you play everybody else, but we were getting into 14 weeks, and I just think that was unsustainable.
It takes a while.
Right. I felt like that extra, it was more important for you to play your division people again than to play the other 2 people in the rest of the league. So,
Greg's team also looks pretty sick.
Yeah, I'm trying.
He's got a super deep bullpen, and he's got 2 really good starters. So on the other games, that's the same thing as Matt R's. Like, how many times you can go home runs though? Because if you have to go from a home run starter to a home run reliever, you're in trouble. But his lineup is nasty.
We go. If anybody hasn't listened to those 2, I highly recommend listening to them again.
Go back and listen. Subscribe,
We did rate 100 Thieves as the number 1 in that division.
Oh, really? Let me look at this.
Yeah, it's a good team. It's very balanced, good
team.
team.
Shane Bieber. Oh boy. Oh no, that's Raleigh Fingers. Sorry.
Right. I think we said really we had 100 Thieves number 1, and then just the other 3 teams are very balanced, very similar.
Garrett Cole's so good. So good. Carrasco's great. Okay. Yeah, so his first 3 are good, and then his last guy's still decent, especially for 180. He'll beat all the other people's shit people.
Yep.
4 really good relievers. Again, I wish he had probably had 1 more, but with 4 good relievers, you're good.
And he has a shaky lineup, but I think it'll be okay.
A lot of speed, though. A lot of speed.
And
only really punted that one guy. He just went more balanced. Mike Trout's super good.
Dude, I didn't even look at this yet. Dom Smith 1-2 out is awesome. So awesome.
Yeah,
You
Dom
know,
Stick was on my chart when he went third round. That's why I was like, there's no way I could grab him because that was
right,
the first baseman I wanted. Yeah, 1-2 out that like gets a double at 12. What? As an 8? What?
dude. So
Ridiculous.
this,
um,
I now that we've kind of come to the end of this, like this, I'm really
Greg's team,
excited.
or sorry, this is who's 100 Thieves now?
What's that?
Who's 100 Thieves? What's the guy's name that's taking over?
Oh, I think it's Brian and Matt, or they're kind of
Brian
tag
slash
teaming
Matt.
it.
Yeah.
So
Okay. This team also, I think, very scary, especially like even his 7, like Kevin Kiermaier is a nasty card. Single plus a 12.
yep.
That's A speed. Center field 3. He's got a great outfield. He interesting infield though with only 7. He's gonna get in trouble, I think, there with some fielders' choices. But with 4 solid relievers and no real bad starter, I would think that's another really good team that could obviously do some damage.
I think
I
it's
think
going to
you're right.
be those are the 3 top. And it's funny, we talked about like with the guys coming in to help us kind of take over this team. We talked about maybe letting them do some player swaps, and part of me after doing this breakdown was like, absolutely not. Like your team
Yeah,
is
your
good
team's
enough.
good.
Like
Your
you
team's
don't
good.
need any. We just re-looked at your team, and you are one of the best teams in the division, if not in the league. So
AJ's got a really good team in pitching, and then
yeah,
his lineup is like kind of he's got like three people that he's totally punted on, plus 2 guys that are average. He's like 4 guys he like punted on. He's like gotta hope that like Diaz and Cruz and Ty France like get all of his run support. Hunter Dozier, like he's gonna shut teams down. I know he's already recording in this podcast. He's already 1-1 against Greg, which I think
yep.
was awesome that he split. Um, but yeah, yeah, I would say Hunter Thieves for sure is the best. And then Raleigh Fingers, I don't think his relief course deep enough, but he does have the 2 inning pitcher, so we'll see if that actually works out.
Yeah, I think we actually, if I can't remember right, again, I should have wrote it down, but we really had the 3 of them fighting for that second and third spot. I think that we had actually AJ and Wind Dancer Pete as fighting really close to number 2, 3, and then I think Raleigh Fingers 4. But the difference between 2 and 4 there in the division was
Yeah,
not huge.
yeah.
So
100 Thieves is, I think, easily the best team in this division.
yep,
Just by looking at it. And I agree with your other picks on in the cardboard cuts division. I think Ducks on the Pond is a really good team. This is not a bad team either. Let's see here. See, I just hate when Kyle G's team, the Trojans, decent lineup, like really didn't punt except like at all. Like a 7's his 2 worst batters, so his lineup's really deep.
he didn't punt in the lineup; he punted in the relief staff.
That's gonna hurt.
Oh yeah, though that was my. I mean, so when we played already.
Oh, you guys already
Bauer,
played. That's right.
We did. Bauer shut me down. I just couldn't do it. He didn't even roll. He rolled. The only time I had it on my chart was when he rolled a 1 once. He didn't roll 2s or 3s, and my lineup was ineffective. He pitched.
That's what Bauer's supposed to do.
He pitched Giolito to I think 8 innings, which I probably would have taken him out kind of earlier because then he gave up runs.
Did Bauer go complete game then?
Bauer did. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, so then you take him out. Yeah, see, that's why I think I would have gone Gibson too, because you have your whole.
That's I think Castillo should have been 2. I would have done or not Castillo. I would have or no, I see what he's doing. You did Giolito second, but I would have been, if I'm doing Giolito second, I would have felt completely comfortable using Diego or Cisneros.
Yeah, why not?
So
knowing that Keuchel can go 6 as a 5.
But here's the thing: is that that was the game that I don't think it was. I think one of the
to us.
Right. It was one of the single worst showdown outings I've ever seen by a team. He had 6 own chart outs in the game, and 2 of those were with the mistake pitch, which if anybody doesn't know, that means that you get a 24-sided die. So he was still rolling like 1-4 on a mistake pitch twice on a 24-sided. So he should have probably won that game. Giolito did pretty well. My pitchers did pretty well, but my hitting was also getting shut down until there was a certain point in which I finally hit a home run and I opened up the game. And that's kind of what I hoped my team would be able to do. But yeah, no, this whole league is wild because I told you this, like, I'm trying to get more hands off. I kept score for so many teams last year, which was, I like doing it. Like, I have fun. And now I'm like, I was like, okay, I set it up. I set up the sheet. Everybody can do their own score, go. But now it's like, oh, I want to like hop in and watch these games. And like, now that they have this personality to me, and every team has a personality, at least to me now. And I think everybody else will get them too, even just by listening to this or just playing them. Man, it's gonna be, it's gonna be a wild season.
Oh yeah.
And I'm really,
And these
really psyched
and
for
like
it.
you said earlier, these grades are just are guessing because the dice are God, and they choose who wins.
Right, like we'll probably do a mid season
Mhm.
breakdown, and then probably definitely postseason.
Yep.
We'll do some award stuff as well. And
Well, I
yeah,
hope
we'll
to see
revisit.
everyone in the postseason because I hope that my team actually does as good as it looks on paper.
Right. We hope we're not doing another cover story about, Bob wins division, instantly blows it, in playoffs. So
That's
well,
my team. All right.
heck yeah. Well, we'll drop some we'll drop my Twitter as always, and Bob's Twitter in the description. If you haven't watched the other breakdowns, again, just go to the channel. You'll see a playlist with all of them there. It's really, I think, fun to just listen to all of them to really get the whole reason we broke this out was so each one of these was more digestible, even though this is like almost an hour long. But Bob and I can talk. We know that's not a surprise.
Yep.
So but yeah, this kind of caps it. We're going to start playing our games. We're going to see how it goes, probably update people, probably try to update people more on the Twitter. I need to be better at that. But yeah, we appreciate everybody listening. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like, give us a comment, tell us what you're thinking. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. All right. We'll see you.
Peace.